Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. You don't need no introductions from me now. You know who it is. Right, I've been simmering for the last few days, simmering about what I've just been watching in the sport of boxing. Bricktop's Friday and Saturday show. Jeez. He's hanging on for dear life, Bricktop. And that's served up by Eddie Hills, the 4-0 Iceman from Billericay, free by way of. Now, I don't really know what. I've just jotted a load of things down. And it's going to come out. It's going to come out in all sorts of ways from me today because I don't see why I should. I don't see why I should just put it all in lists and do it all nice and neat. And I'm just going to throw it out at you what I really, really think. Because if boxing wants to be scatty, I'm going to be scatty today. But here we go. Campbell Hatton. What can we say about Campbell Hatton? Seems a nice enough kid, doesn't he? But why can't they build him up on small shows? Why put him on a pay-per-view like that in another country and have all hype around him and all that? It looked like his dad were taking all hype, wasn't it, really, and walking about thinking he's a superstar once again, blah, blah, blah. That's how it looked to me, and it was sad to see, really, because the kid's quiet and very humble, but his dad's, a bit controversial. He's the only man in England that wears louder shirts than Big P. But let's put it into perspective. Campbell Hatton's opponent was 0-10. Never had a win. Never had a knockout. Couldn't even get through ropes if you looked. I mean, Campbell Hatton's on his debut. Fair enough, you allowed them sort of fights, but after all the big build-up, we expected a better performance, didn't we? But let's put it into perspective. Eddie Hardy from Doncaster bashed him up in amateurs. Bashed him, punched him upside down. So I don't see any documentaries getting made about Eddie Hardy, although there's a lot of people who want to sign him. Isn't that right, Steffi Bull? So he's a disaster waiting to happen. Another disaster waiting to happen is Fabio Wardley. Now, he looked to me like he was getting licked against Molina, who just looked like he quit to me. I've watched it several times now, and he looked to me like he quit, and I don't know what to make of it all, but Fabio Wardley will be thrown under a bus at some point, and remember what I've just said. He is a disaster waiting to happen, so don't come running to Big P when out bad happens. You heard it here first. Eric Molina, what is he, 39-year-old? God, busted flush. Fat as a pig Michelin man. School teacher. Full-time school teacher. How's he finding time to train? So, Kumani versus Baker. Kumani won that. I tipped him to win, but why do we have to listen to Adam Smith going on about Baker's a nice guy and the next tattoo he's going to have is going to be a spider's web on his elbow? What has that got to do with the fight? Why can't commentators be quiet and let the fight progress? Why do they have to keep chatting all the way through it? I don't want to hear that narrative. I want to see the boxing. You know what I mean? I always end up watching it on mute the day after. So it is what it is. 2 seconds. I think is it 600 and odd days or something? Hang on a minute. Let me just check this out. I've got this on my phone here. I'll come back to that. I'm just turning my phone on. Dale Nichols, thank you for those statistics. Let's have a look. Dillian White, a.k.a. the Can Man. Anybody who wants it can get it. If you're over 40, that is. Maximum Violence. Ooh, Lone Wolf. No, there's no violence involved, and it's Lone Poodle. That's right, Lone Poodle or Chihuahua. But let me just point a few things out to you here from my man here. My man in the dam. My man in the dam. Let's get him on here. Here we are. Here's a couple of statistics for you boys and girls. Dillian White. 618 days since his B sample was sent off. 618 days, Dylan. Where's this B sample? What you do, you piss in a cup. This is what happened. Pissed in a cup. They get the cup. They put it in two test tubes. One they test there and then one gets sent off. One fails, one gets sent off. It's not rocket science. If you want that back within 7 days, you can pay £400 and get it back within 7 days. I'm willing to pay the £400 now. Because I know it's dirty, because nobody in the history of the sport has ever had a B sample that's been negative. Nobody. So where's this B sample? Where is it? I don't know, but here's another statistic for you. This involves Eddie Hearn and Tyson Fury announcing fights. 294 days ago, Tyson Fury said Fury Joshua is a done deal. 292 days! Hey, we're getting on for 300 days now, and there's no date, no venue, nobody's got no money for it. It's just utter knackers to keep you all on the hook. But getting back to Dillian Whyte, he's refused. They keep going on about, we want to talk about days, Dillian Whyte and Dean Povetkin, Dean Wilder, whatever your name is, that fraud who walks around with him in Shook Knight outfit, thinking he's a big G. Never done a day in jail in his life. If he has been in jail, well, he won't be getting visas for America, would he? Because me and Peter Fury have had lawyers on the job trying to get visas off Homeland Security. We can't get them. So these big gangsters from Brixton, they're flying over to America. Gangsters going to America. I've never heard that so stupid. Right. Roadmen killers. That's what they make out they are. They ought to come to South Yorkshire. That's what all roadmen killers are. Right. Dillian Whyte likes to talk days. Well, I like to talk days. I've just told you how many days his B sample's been missing, but they keep going on about this 1,000-day mandatory. Ah! Naughty, naughty, Dylan. Naughty, naughty. More lies from Team White. You're not Luis Ortiz back in an eliminator. You're not Brazil back in an eliminator. You're not Wilder back, fight back. You pulled out of the fight with Pulev when Eddie Hearn lost the purse bid. $1 billion Eddie had all that money. He couldn't even win a purse bid for you in Bulgaria. You and Fury had to step in and fight. What was it, 23, 24-year-old? Because you had no gonads, Dillian Whyte. That's about IBF, though, so not WBC. But wait on, we'll get back to the best bit. We don't hear Dillian Whyte call out Joyce, do we? He didn't want to call out Dubois, did he? Before Joyce. Won't call out Wilder either, will he? He's calling out who? Trevor Bryan. Fetch Trevor Bryan to Rotherham. I'll flog him myself. He's no good. He's useless. But Pulev he knocked back. Then he knocks back Joshua rematch at Wembley for 4 belts. You know, 90,000 people, 25 quid pay-per-view, 4 belts. Man, knocked it back, you know, like you do. Where's the B sample? That's what I say. And now I'm hearing a little bit of chat that Dillian Whyte had been talking after his fight about him and Povetkin having a trilogy. It's just about up your street, that, innit? A man who'll be well into his 43rd year, eh? Oh, yeah, we'll fight again, eh? 42 in summer, and so he'll be in his 43rd year. Pay-per-view, trilogy. Come on, Dylan. Fight somebody. Dillian Whyte is not ranked by WBO, WBA, and IBF. He's not in their top 15, but he's ranked number 6 by WBC. Why is that? Why is that? Keep watching this space. Keep watching every single day, because it's going to be April tomorrow. So keep watching. Watch him slotted in with WBA. Keep watching. They'll go for Trevor Bryan. Then he's got a belt. He's got a bit of a bargaining chip, hasn't he? A regular belt. So Jose Sullivan, what's he been going on about? Hey, he's trying to talk up. Have a look. I think I've got it on my phone here. Sullivan's trying to talk up something, isn't he, regarding WBC, and saying that he basically says that Povetkin wasn't right. He'd had COVID and all this and that and blah blah blah. And he was very, very poorly. And that's the noises I'm hearing from people who know people in Povetkin's camp. So if I'm hearing that, Sullivan's hearing it, it must be true, innit? It's got to be true. But we can all beat people up, can't we, that are old men, shot to bits, fat as a pig Michelin man. You know what I mean? When you're in your prime. But it is what it is, isn't it? What about Kell Brook then, going back to Flex Wheeler? I don't know. Kell Brook and Flex Wheeler. Kell's going back there. That Vaseline will be out, won't it? Oh my God. Or is it baby oil? I don't know what they're using there. Is it Beaches that way? Is it, Dominic? Baby oil will be well and truly out. But Amir Khan's come out. He's saying, Eddie Hearn, let's finally get the fight on. Who wants to see Khan, Brook Khan? Who wants to see that? Two fighters that have had life punched out of them. Fantastic fighters in the prime. Who wants to see that now? Would the public fall for that now? And could Kell Brook even work with Eddie again after what happened last time? Yeah, they could, because these people are whores. That's what whores do. That's what they do. No whores. They've got no pride about themselves, have they? They've got no pride about themselves. But would Ed Robinson at Sky, and remember what you said about this fight to me, Ed, in 2013, the night before Brooks-Senchenko. We know what you said, don't we, Ed Robinson, to me in Hilltop Hotel while we were down in Whiskey with Duran on jukebox in Steffi Wool's cousin's pub. Remember what you said to me, Ed Robinson, about Brooks-Senchenko? Well, it's 8 years down the line since then, and it's still not made. And you were talking about it being past it then. So come on, play the white man, Ed. Which brings me to just a few things I want to point out about the White Povetkin before I forget. White 33, Povetkin 42. Both served drug bans. No belt on the line. 9 Sky TV pay-per-views between them. Both have even got the faces on coins. What's all that about? COVID injuries for Sasha. He had COVID and he had injuries. White's had numerous trainers. I mean, how many trainers has he got? Who's this Harold the Shadow Knight? Does he like moving the shadows? Jeez. Let's see what Harold Knight can do when you get in there with somebody who can fight, Dylan. Somebody with a heartbeat. So, but Mark Tibbs gave the game plan to that arse licker, Rob Tebbett, didn't he, on Boxing Social? Good old Rob Tebbett, Johnny on the spot. Eh? Old Johnny on the spot. But Mark Tibbs gave the blueprint. Mark Tibbs and Dylan did it to a T, the blueprint, didn't he? But he didn't have much in front of him, did he? It's a bit like a fifth former beating up on a second former at Edmonton Comprehensive, isn't it? A bit like when I went up there and I had fifth formers knocking me about for the first year. Do you know what I mean? When I went up to Edlow Comp, flogging me daily. Bit like that, isn't it? What should Povetkin do next? Retire or fight White next? If Povetkin's going to have one more fight, I'd like to see him fight Hughie Fury. I'd like to see Hughie get his revenge. But I think Povetkin's on slide now, and I think it's an easy win for Hughie. White wants Trevor Bryan, as we spoke about. Eddie Hearn's saying he wants Wilder. Eddie Hearn will want Wilder because White can get iced at any time. He's not very strong around the whiskers, is he? He's been iced twice, hasn't he? I mean, that's miles off clock, isn't it? Yeah, we spoke about it in Helmets, didn't we? About the Sunday sermons. Spencer Fearon, Gareth Anal Davis, Dave Colwell, Ben Davidson, you know, Shane McGuigan. They're all coming out with these Sunday sermons, aren't they, lately? Shannon Courtney and Rachel Ball. This is a good one, this. Shannon Courtney and Rachel Ball. They're not even... Rachel Ball and Shannon Courtney. Sorry, what? I don't think Rachel Ball were ranked, was she, in February? Shannon Courtney's not ranked in February in WBA. Ebony Bridges was ranked 9, but they're fighting for a vacant belt. How can that be? I don't know. We've got one with big knockers out here, and we've got other one that looks like an ironing board, like Shirley out EastEnders. So I don't know. It's whatever takes your fancy, innit? But I'm sure they'll have to keep all dressing rooms padlocked to keep Gareth A. Davis out that way, aren't we? I mean, God, you know what I mean? Gareth A. Davis is always there or thereabouts, isn't he? He can get his eye in any keyhole, that man. But here's another thing I want to point out. Another thing that people seem to be forgetting. Fat Terry O'Connor. You know who you are, Terry. You know. I give you enough stick when I see you. You mind trying to feel me chain up, Terry, every time you see me? We know what you are, big shithouse. Stan McDermott in 1977 knocked Terry O'Connor out. I nearly said Terry McDermott. So John McDermott's dad knocked Terry O'Connor out in 1977, forward to Tyson Fury against John McDermott. And the deciding judge on the night was Terry O'Connor. And Terry O'Connor went with Tyson Fury, didn't he? He picked Tyson. And then told somebody he thought McDermott won after, but he went with Tyson on the night. How can that be? Is that because John McDermott's dad knocked him out? For example, if George Groves was a judge in a Rocco Frotch fight against Fred Bloggs, and Rocco Frotch won the fight on points, would George Groves give it to Rocco Frotch, because Carl Frotch knocked George out, or would he give it to Fred Bloggs? So who's at fault? Is it Kelly Maloney, stroke Frank Maloney back in the day, for not doing his homework and checking out the past history of the judges and links to the fight? Or is it Robert Smith, the border control man? Because Robert Smith will know that Stan McDermott knocked out Terry O'Connor, because Robert Smith were active at that time. So the point I want to make is, who's at fault here? Is it corruption, or is it incompetence, or is it a bit of both? Because that is Tyson Fury's first loss. Everybody knows that. Even Tyson knows it. So, but Tyson beat him in rematch, so fair enough. But it is what it is, isn't it? I want to talk about David Adelaide's opponent. You know, where did they dig him up from? Look at that. Where did they dig David Adelaide's opponent up for the weekend? I don't know. But it is what it is, isn't it? Let's have a look. Josh Taylor fighter at year for doing what? What's Josh Taylor done? What's Josh Taylor done this year? Nobody's done anything. Fighter at year should go to nobody, really, because there's no contenders, is there, really? Fight of the year, you'd have to say Cheeseman against Metcalf, wouldn't you? What a fight that was. Cheeseman against Metcalf. I liked Congo McKinson as well. I thought that was a decent fight. I'd like to see that again, actually. A bit of a technical fight for me, that bit. Cheeseman, a.k.a. Quasimodo, against Metcalf. I thought that was a great fight, me. I'd like to see that again, but Ted Cheeseman, age 25, he's going to be drinking through a straw by the time he's 27, and he's going to be like Sam Eggington, isn't he? You know what I mean? A bit punchy. But it is what it is, isn't it? But do I want to see rematch? Yeah. McKinson, Congo, yes. Calla Sauerland. Where he's got dates. Good old Calla Sauerland. Big hero of mine, Calla. Every time I see him, he's going like that. But 154 in the UK is fantastic at the moment. Now, I'm hearing that Calla Sauerland's putting the feelers out to do a tournament at 154. And these are the names that I'm hearing. Beefy Smith, Cheeseman, Williamson, Metcalf, Eggington, Fitzgerald, Fowler, and Conway. And there'll be some backup guys for that as well. So Calla Sauerland looking to do a tournament at 154. I think that's a fantastic idea, Calla. I think it's groundbreaking. Well, it's groundbreaking because we've had World Boxing Super Series, haven't we? But you were involved in that, weren't you, Calla? So the point I want to make is that 154 is red hot. So if you're going to do a tournament, Calla, I'd get behind that, and I'd like to see it on Sky. I think that's the only way forward. We know you like to do these tournaments because it's a way of getting your foot in the door with TV, isn't it? So Got a runny nose today. I don't feel very well. So yeah, that's a good move for Carla Sauerland. I was going to put Bean weapon at week, but I'm not going to do a weapon at week this week. Might do one next week. I don't want to do it every week. But Bean deserves to be weapon at week for just the nonsense that he's chatting. He's just so uncool. But let's have a look. Let's have a look what we've got here. Mr. R, who's a Porky member on the Porky's Experience on my members area. Well done, Mr. R. Has asked a question on the Boxing Asylum. So I'm pinching the material, really, aren't I? But he asked a question on Boxing Asylum. I'm looking through all of it on Boxing Asylum. There isn't really that many live chat. I always catch it day after and have a good read through. I'm looking at it and I thought, I did leave a comment actually this week because somebody set a fake Porky account up, didn't they? Get it there, trying to be Porky. I live in your heads, kid. But well done, Ozzy Smith, for getting rid of the riffraff. But there isn't really that many decent questions on their live chat because it's full of people acting out fantasies and just acting goat. And they call us hardcore fans, but majority of them are gimps, aren't they? 95% of them. Just pain in arses. They'd love to do what we do, but they don't. Camera shy. Well, he asked a good question. The question is this. Why has Campbell Hatton been built up as a roadman killer when Eddie Hardy smashed him to bits? I agree with that. Young Hatton should develop on the quiet with shows run by small hall shows in Manchester area. You know, Pat Barrett, Steve Wood, Kieran Farrell, Joe Gallagher, stuff like that. And I think Mr. R has got it more or less nailed on. I hope I've read it all out right here because I were a bit worse to weather when I wrote it. Bottom line is, why don't they just build Campbell Hatton up on small hall shows and then put him into big shows like that? But Eddie Hearn's gone straight for jugular, wanting the Hatton pay-per-view money, hasn't he? He's not bothered about quality control. It's all about the dollar, which is wrong, isn't it? Because we're now heading into a really dodgy period with boxing now where everybody wants to fight exhibitions and get pay-per-view money, nostalgia fights and all that kind of thing. But we're up to trainers today, boys and girls. I thought I'd try these on. They fit perfect, Andrea, to be honest. But I'm a night man for trainers, but I'm not going to knock freebies back, am I? But the point I want to make is that we're going into a dodgy period, aren't we now, with these nostalgia fights and YouTube fights, and boxing fans are going to spend the money on all these pay-per-view fights that are not really relevant to hardcore fans, and they're not going to have no money left for the boxers coming through. And I can see why a lot of boxers at the moment are resenting, you know, these 50-odd-year-old guys coming back. I mean, Glenn McCrory even tried to jump on bandwagon. A bit embarrassing from Glenn, that, to be honest. Bit embarrassing, but, you know, he probably needs a few quid, doesn't he? But bit embarrassing, but how can I talk, really, when I'd like to see Mickey Theo fight John Fury? But only because John shot his big trap off, didn't he? His pile. I'd like to see that fight, but it looks like John's gone missing, doesn't it? So, I don't know, but we're into a dodgy period in the sport of boxing at the moment. Very dodgy. So, what day we on today? I've got, it's April tomorrow. 30 days in April, isn't there? 46 days, I'll be on that plane. Cosmetic Beach, is it 46, 45 days? 6 weeks, 6 weeks. 6 weeks I'll be on that plane. All being well, if it doesn't get knocked back. Chris Smedley going for his done. Me and Chris Smedley, he's going 2 weeks after me. That should be interesting, shouldn't it? Me and Chris Smedley walking around Sheffield with looking goofy. Walking around Sheffield like that, aren't we? Looking goofy. I just hope I don't end up looking like a crocodile like my mate. Lennox Clark against Willie Hutchinson. Willie Hutchinson, 13-0 going into the fight. Only 2 of them had winning records. So was he prepared for somebody as seasoned as Lennox Clark? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And Dominic Ingle were found wanting. What does Dominic Ingle do 48 hours later? Takes Kell Brook back, doesn't he? And then they start beating drum for Calm Brook. God. Oh, Dominic will do out for a few quid, won't he? Dominic, go get a job at Sainsbury's on security, guarding sandwiches and pasties and April fruits. Jelly babies. Well, Willie Hutchinson, 175. Dominic thought he could pull a fast one. Put him in at 168. Because I'm a nutrition expert. He look weak as a kitten. Listen, fighters should fight at the normal weight. Willie Hutchinson's not a 168. He's too big. You mind all that salary you keep giving him, Dominic? Hey, and all them special shakes. We know about your special shakes, don't we, Dominic? Dominic Ingle, question for you. Why don't you come out and tell the truth why Billy Joe really left you? Come on, Dominic. Come and tell everybody why Billy left you. Yeah. You know, don't you, Dominic? You know. You know. Welcome on here anytime, Dominic. Come down here. I'll come up there. No problem. I've got some questions for you. Well, yeah. One's for you, Dominic. All ready for you, mate. Do it on Zoom anytime you want. People don't like it when they have to answer it truthfully, do they? Because when you tell a lie to me, Dominic, I'll just throw another question at you. I won't be like Umar, IFL Umar, Rob Tebbit, and all the rest of them hula hoopers. The hula hoop brigade, that's what I call that lot now. The hula hoopers. Has Dominic Ingle been found out as an elite trainer? I don't know. He did all right with Kell Brook, didn't he? But he didn't have him at the beginning, did he? So I don't know, really. I don't know. Just because you're walking around pumped up, don't mean say that you're a great trainer, does it? I remember Dominic Ingle telling everybody that Damon Haig had knocked Carl Froch out. I was there. I seen it with my own eyeballs. Look what happened. Got put to Kip. Damon Haig got put to Kip. Nice enough kid. Used to be a bit of a heavy guy in the area back in the day, but got put to Kip by the Cobra. So nice to see Nick Webb get a win. But the downside of that is that downside to that is old Papi de la Comeback. Papi de la Comeback's back on patrol now. Anyway, comeback. David Allen's coming back. Go on, the White Rhino. Well, let's hope if Dave Allen comes back that he fights somebody on his level. You don't keep putting him in with these killers. Yeah, you're going to go out and spar Usyk. Jesus. What did he say after Usyk knocked him out? I don't want to get it like that again. It's not in me no more. I don't want it. Now he wants to come back and rumble with Nick Webb, who's on a roll. Dave, what you do, you go get your first ever job. You go to the job centre for the foreman and say, my name's Dave Allen. I used to be a boxer. 29-year-old. I want to have a job now. I want to get a job. I want to work for a living. I don't want to lay in bed on Instagram all day, eating lion bars. I want to work for a living. I don't just want to pick up my phone and keep putting tweets out, thinking I can just go to the bank or the well one more time and abuse fans. You've admitted yourself, Dave, you don't train. You don't train. Oh, I never trained. So why can anybody all of a sudden buy into you? Why? You went training over there, didn't you? That strength and conditioning guy, Wilson's at Barnsley. You went once, Dave. You went once. So how can the fans invest in Dave Allen again if he comes back when he doesn't train? Dave Allen is a car crash waiting to happen. It's like me saying to somebody who's 17, here, there's your keys there for a Ferrari. What are you going to do? You're going to bin it, aren't you? I dinted dints everywhere in my first car, Mark II Escort. Mark II Escort, 13 pop on P-plate. Dinted it all over the place. Dave Allen, they put him in with Luis Ortiz, didn't they? Eh? Big punching southpaw Cuban when he were what? 9-1-1 or something like that. He had about 10 fights, 10, 11 fights, whatever. It didn't work. There's no shortcuts to success. Dave Allen, you've not won a belt yet. If you come back, Fight somebody on your level and get a central area belt. It's not too late, and then start up. Go through the level. Like the octopus. Lawrence Okoli. Pussy in a spliff, chilling me Arabs, eating carrots, gold grilling mouth. That's when you start marketing yourself, when you've done something. You don't start marketing yourself as this funny man, because it ain't going to wash for that long, is it? I don't know. I think Dave's 15 minutes is up now. And the promise of media careers and this and that, it hasn't come off, has it, from Sky, has it? So, because it looks like Eddie might be in a bit of trouble here with Sky, so he might be moving on. So, where's it leave Dave? I don't know, but I bet £1 to $1 he ends up with Bricktop. I bet he ends up with Bricktop and passed about for them all to knock him about. Gorman, Dubois, all them sort of people, but not for the same money he could have gone. For what? I want to stay loyal to Matcham. What? When you're a novice and they're putting you in with Lewis Ortiz, who really should have been stepped up to be a world champion. Lewis Ortiz was technically a world champion if his promoter would have upgraded him with sanctioning body. Putting a kid like Dave Allen in with Lewis Ortiz. That's craziness. Craziness. So I expect Dave Allen to be dusting the body warmer down and spinning some yarn about I'm taking it serious. Papidella comeback. Papidella pay-per-view. This is it. Nutrition, strength and conditioning. Eating kangaroo meat now. Stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet. And putting all photographs and videos on Insta. Blah, blah, blah. He must be off his rocker. He must be off his rocker. Go and start again and pretend that you Campbell Hatton and start fighting bums and work your way up and just get a bit of momentum. And accept the short end of money and build up and earn your stripes. There's no shortcuts. Social media, sooner or later, it's going to start putting kids in fights, and because they look aesthetically good, they're going to start putting these kids in fights. And what's going to happen is we're going to have a death on our hands. That's what we're going to happen. Touch wood, we don't, but that's what's going to happen. But it is what it isn't. But I don't want to see Dave get his brain scrambled. I mentioned it. There's no mates in boxing, is there? There's no mate. Eddie Hearn don't do mates. He don't do mates. And I think what's happened with Dave Allen over the last 4 years is nothing short of scandal. It's how not to manage your career. I mean, Dave Allen's a manager now. He's advising fighters, but admits that he don't train. Oh, I didn't train. I didn't take it seriously. And I took fights with killers, but I was way out my depth. Yoka, David Price, Ortiz, all battered him. And he's going to give advice to young fighters now. So who's giving him a manager's license? I don't know. Boxing Motor Control. So, and I think it's a shame, and I feel for Dave. I really, really do. Yeah, I agree with you, mate, wholeheartedly. So let me just have a little bit of a look here. Let's have a look what's left here. Let's have a look. What on earth is this? Carla Sauerland, let's take it to another level. They've got a picture of that value F coming out. Barry Earns put joke. So Ozzy Smith's put, hi Barry, could you explain why the new link up is a joke? The announcement has gone down well. I don't know. It's a bit of sour grapes there because Carla Sauerland's working with Sky. I don't know. I don't mind Calla, but I know Eddie and Calla can't stand each other. But they'll sit and do business, and I can never really understand that. How you can't stand somebody, you despise them. I mean, really despise each other, don't they? Them two. But it is what it is, isn't it? So I'm in a good mood today. I've got my Mercedes back, water pump, housing, thermostat, is it? And then housing. There's a little tip here to all you people out there who think you can cut corners with cars. I had a quote, 1,200 quid. Brake discs front and rear, shoes on back and it pads on front. They were talking 1,200 quid for what I want. And I went, nah, I'm not paying that, mate. I paid 250 quid, didn't I? after you've done about 1,000 miles, there starts to be a bit of knocking because replica parts, they have that, they're always like 1 or 2 mil out, aren't they? So you can, it's like, here's slight stuff. It's not, don't bother, it shouldn't bother a normal person, but I've got OCD, so I listened and I thought, well, I don't like that. And then obviously water pump went on me. So it is what it is, isn't it? But all done and dusted, relieved of my ardent reddies. So all I need now is Coco to come and do it, a valet for me. And then I'm back on top, driving around looking nice and clean. I think that's about it, really. I think that's about it. Big things happening with SYPS in boxing. I can't say too much at the moment, but watch this space. And please, you know, when you want to start something up, you have to get a bit of something going with a bit of media, and you have to show people that you can do well and show them that boxing's a good sport, because every now and then we take 3 steps forward with boxing and then we have like a Terry O'Connor night, don't we? And these people are like, oh God, I don't know about boxing much, but I think that Cheeseman Metcalf fight, Eddie, well done on that. Put boxing in a good light for people who I know. But watch this space. Things are going to be happening. Can't say too much as I've just said, but you have to watch this space. But I take things as a pinch of salt until I see it on paper and I see things happening, because there's a lot of shit spoken boxing, isn't there? People are professional shit talkers, aren't they? Just garbage talkers, just chat nonsense for the sake of it. And I always say, don't say it to me, because if you say it to me, I'll be offended if you don't deliver. So we're going to see what's happening down the line, but so far, so good. The good news is this: I don't surround myself with people that chat shit no more, because there's a lot of them in sport boxing, isn't there? Shit chatters. You know the type, don't you? They're going to do wonders, but all they do is shit cucumbers. So that is it. 10:15. 31st of March. I might as well get this out today and I'll get it out straight away. Get it out straight away, and then go and do what I've got to do. Jason Barker, give me a ring. It's Talkers and the Smoky Bacon Walkers. I might go up to... if it's open, I'm not sure if it's open. I might wait while Clinton opens his gym and then start going up there once a week and having a bit of a sparring session with Clinton. Clinton, I know you're watching. I think me and you need to get at it. You can wear 20-ounce gloves, Clinton, and I'm going to wear 10-ounce. I'm wearing head guard and bodyguard. You've got no head guards and lot, and I'm still going to come flying at you. And then I can tell all my pals where I'm from. Well, I've been sparring Clinton once today. But I'm going to spar you first, Jason Barker. All right, I'm going to get you ready for that fight with Perry the Power Howe. Oh my God, Perry Howe. Perry Ellie. All right then, peace out. Thank you for liking and subscribing, leaving a comment, and thank you very much for joining the members area. If you're having problems joining the members area on your phone, go on your computer, or you need a Gmail account to join it. But if you can't join, you can't join. It doesn't really mean much to me either way. But if you want to join, you get the extra videos. This month, you've had 10 videos. Well, that's what you get minimum. I'll give you 11 videos, plus I'll let you have the helmets the day before. But that's now gone on to the other side of the channel. And this video will be video 29, I think. 29th video. And deal I've got here is 20 videos on one, 10 on other, 30 a month. So you've had 40 videos for the month in 31 days. So nobody can tell me that I do not put the effort in. All right? Because none of yous are doing it like me. None of yous whatsoever at all. None of you dare say what I do or prod for questions like I do. All you do is get your tongues out and go like that up people's hoops. Don't say a word. All right? I'm now going to go down M18 and road test my car with my new water pump. Now I've had my remap set properly as well. And see what it does. With roof back and a bit of 2-pack on. I think I'm going to put on California. California. I like that song. All right. So thank you very much for liking and subscribing. Peace out. Have a great weekend.